Hey there, everybody. Thank you for joining me for another one-man review. Today I've got a brand new hardcover book out from Image Comics. Got it in the mail yesterday and just finished reading it. It's Karmen by Guillem March. It's a nice big hardcover. Here you see we got buddy Brandon Graham's Multiple Warheads trade paperback. So it's a little bit larger than a normal trade paperback. Really, really cool book. Like a touching emotional story with a lot of cool like psychedelic art. It starts off introducing you to the main characters, Kata, and I think his name is pronounced Hisco, or Zisco. I'm going to say Hisco. And then a little bit that talks about dreams and deja vu with this kind of wild, like, quantum interconnected network here, which plays out later in the book, this like theory of reality that's being represented here. Pretty quickly, you realize that Kata and Hisco have been friends since kids, and they have like, this kind of platonic but feelings for each other relationship that's interfering with Hisco's ability to form other relationships. So like here, this girl Vanessa is telling him like, look, you're spending all this time with this other girl. Oh, she's just friends. Well, like you got to give her up or we're going to break up. And he'll continue to break up with other girls because he's not going to give up his friendship with Kata. And then here you see, like now, current times, he's meeting with her roommate and they're talking about some relationship thing. And Kata's calling them, and you get the sense that she's, freaking out about something. She thinks something's going on with them. And then we move to Kata's shared apartment with the roommate, and we're introduced to Karmen, who's obviously like the death figure in this. She's not death, but someone who gets souls as they die. And we realize this is early enough in the book. I hope that I'm not giving away spoilers. That while the roommate Joanna's on the couch, Kata's killed herself, and Karmen has showed up to collect the soul. But before she collects the soul, she's gonna like take her on this journey of self-awareness, and that's what the rest of the book is. And I don't want to give away too many spoilers in that sense, what that journey is or what all the plot details it entails. But it's a really nice story, and it's bolstered by these really amazing art. I love the way Guillem March draws women. Like Kata's obviously a sexy woman, but he draws her like when she folds over, she has like skin belly folds that fold up and stuff. So he draws women like having real bodies. I also really like the way that he deals with Karmen, that it's not just like she's wearing a skeleton suit, but that he's always drawing the bones anatomically correct no matter how the angle on her shifts. And that's just really cool to me. That's like a really impressive kind of visualization thing, to always be moving this skeleton around in 3 dimensions. And there's a lot of scenes where she's like flying around from different angles and whatnot. The characters do learn, like, she's dead, and so Kata learns that she can fly. And that sets up a lot of really cool visuals too. But I mean, here's a great example of Karmen like having to visualize what the whole pelvic area would look like from up underneath, up into the skull, and then figuring out the negative space on that. Like, that's a hell of an art challenge, and he pulls it off like effortlessly, really. And then just the flying sets up a lot of cool imagery, as this disembodied soul is exploring the world, some fun formalisms with maps, but also just the ability to like really shift the perspective of the character while keeping a consistent perspective on the land, and oftentimes using these curvilinear warped perspectives to represent the world around her anyways. So you just get all these like really, really fun shots of these figures. It's really, this is a book done by someone who obviously loves drawing figures, and then they've come up with a really good, impactful, emotional story that captures that. And you start to realize that Karmen is here trying to get souls to fix their karma before they like reincarnate. Because if they reincarnate with the bad karma, they're going to become worse, a lesser being, and she wants to help them move forward. This doesn't go over well with like the authority, the after death authority, and this is a representation of that world here, where like her boss is saying, hey, like just go get these souls and bring them back as quick as possible. Like, why are you spending all this extra time with them? And she's making this argument that like, look, you know, we have a greater responsibility to them, just other than just ushering them to death. But again, you see like this super fun Escher, like bodies all over the place, rotating through space. The bodies existing in different perspectives than the space being drawn, and like the visuals like that really, you know, really compelling. But the story is compelling too, so there's like these multiple forces of amazing art and compelling story driving a book. What more could you ask for? I can't wait to read more stuff by Guillem March. I know I've seen his work on covers a lot and maybe on some Batman books, but this is like far superior as a total package. Really well printed, beautiful colors, like these kind of nice desaturated colors on everything. Its color palette kind of reminds me of Brandon Graham's colors as well. Really lovely, with like lots of pinks and kind of pastels. And there's some other of these karma agents. This is another one, so I like that she's the vascular system instead of the bones. Like, just a lot of really smart decisions. So I don't want to give away any more of the story. It's definitely worth reading. And then, of course, like, you get some cool behind the scenes, and it's really fun to see that this was all, like, obviously you see pencil and some blue pencil, so it's obviously all real pen and ink there. You start to wonder, a book like this with all this crazy perspective, you know, it's like, oh, these days it'd be super easy to pull that off on a computer. But, you know, mad respect to Guillem March for going in and doing this all by hand. Throughout the book, also, some of the influences I see, there's an obvious Milo Manara influence, and you can see that Guillem March went and got Manara to do a cover, so that has to be super cool. It has that very European vibe of like an excuse to have a sexy lady naked, but it's not so pornographic. There are some things where it acknowledges the nature of having a body, like needing to fart and pee and those kind of things, which I find interesting when you've got like this sexy lady thing that's sitting on a toilet farting. I think Brandon talked about this book in one of our videos, talking about that aspect of it. So there's some of that like kind of European openness to it that we're seeing more of, I think, in the American industry, but that's nice. I would also say Guido Crepaw seems to be a big influence on how the women are drawn, and just some of the kind of more rhythmic, crazy panel designs, I would say would be a big influence on the art. And you get some of the other covers in here. But I think that's really cool that he got a Milo Manara cover. So if you like Milo Manara, European books in general, just the art that you're seeing here, or if you don't, I mean, I would still recommend this. This is a really good book, a really intelligent, really beautiful book, I think. And there's a lot more to the plot and a lot more interconnectedness and intricacies that make it play out in a very compelling way. All right. Once you've picked this up, if you haven't already, make sure to check out the Eisner-nominated The Strange Death of Alex Raymond. There's still copies available. This is by myself and Dave Sim. If you want a truly wild and weird interconnected story about the nature of reality and metaphysics, this is the one for you, and it ties it all to some of the greatest cartoonists of our time. And then make sure you keep an eye out for Sean's upcoming Yokoyama Yuichi's Plaza. That will be a Kickstarter out for that soon, and forthcoming in the next few months, Eric Creek's The Exile, and then sometime after that, Neil Vandepeet's Centralia. Thanks for following along. Take it away, Jack.